Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Alienizer. Today we're playing Age of Empires Definitive Edition as Persians versus Egyptians. So without further ado, let's get started. A bit of a warning, this game is full of surprises, bad decisions, and of course, most idiotic gameplay. Sometimes. Alright, let's get started by building a house, as always I have done in all of my gameplay, because the first thing we would have needed were citizens, right? And that's what we're going to create. We started creating citizens faster than the enemy could produce, so that we get more resources and create our army as fast as possible. Now that got me thinking, these houses, the citizens don't even live in those houses, they're walking 24/7. And look at the house. The gate is smaller than a citizen, you can't live there. That's crazy that you need a house to actually create citizens. There's no correlation that I'm getting. The citizens are the most workaholic citizens of, I don't know, anywhere, maybe? They walk 24/7. Literally walk 24/7. And we need to create 50 houses at least for 200 units. So that's gonna take a long time. Meanwhile, I started with my first gold and stone gathering units, which is pretty important, and it will prove to be very important at a later stage, so stay tuned. So as the game progressed, I created more and more citizens and of course houses, because for some weird reason they can't live without it, and assigned them to collect the fundamental resources that we would need at the later stage. So we have gold, stone, food and wood collection, and it's a good start. At least that's what I thought. But let's see. The best thing about Age of Empires remastered versions, they have created wonderful animations for the animals. But wait, the elephants were a food source. Who eats an elephant, man? Come on, Microsoft Studios, you can do better than that. They should have, I don't know, made kind of source for army, maybe? You can train them. But fruit source? Not so much. I haven't seen it in Age of Empires 2 and 3, so I guess they realized that, but yeah. Like, I get that they might be eaten in some areas of the world, but not so much in most part. So we have created a dock. Now you might be thinking that in a continental map, why do you need a dock? You can just go and attack your enemy. The main battle is not in the sea, but in land. But wait, that's perhaps one of the most important and correct decisions I've made. Just wait and watch. So we have started creating a barrack, and this is the usual part. We'll start building your army as soon as possible, at least the defensive area, and at the same time try to improve your economy, get more resources so that you can make units faster. It's pretty standard. You know, preparation for the war is the best assurance for peace. And that continued with creating the archery, which is pretty again standard things, and assigning more and more citizens to build houses and gather resources. That's again merged to an initial stage. So I have my first unit. It's great. It's a good start. Of course, the target is to create all the army units possible and prepare for the first attack. And I think I did really good there by creating at least the top 3. A stable would have helped the earlier stage, but fair enough, there's no attack till then. That's right. Continue creating more and more units and prepare. That's one thing that we need to keep in mind for Age of Empires 1 and 2 at least, that as soon as you start building farms, create a meal and just press that replenish button, because else they're going to run out of bread every few minutes and it's going to be very irritating. It's like creating of houses, that you have to go and create houses as soon as you cross that limit or threshold. So let's do it at the start, and I think I managed that pretty well. The animations are really good here, really good. I love it. There's no comparison of the original version of Age of Empires in terms of the graphics. It's amazing, and I love that they are giving us an opportunity to play these legendary games again. I'm going super fast on this, and I love that, the speed, that's amazing. And we are off to building a good amount of defensive units. I'm creating more and more the elephants. I love elephant units. Elephant units are the best. They are the most reliable, they create or most impactful as well. They incur most damage possible on enemy, so that's something. Now it's time to collect the treasures. I read that if you collect enough treasures that you get some bonus points. I don't know. I've never faced it yet. But it's always good to collect the treasures because before your enemy moves in that direction. So I did just that. And the Indiana Jones is bringing the treasure home. That is great. I think there are 4 of them in the map. Let's figure that out sometime later. And I'm pretty sure I'll do good in that area. Alright, so I thought at that time that we should build a siege factory as well. Because, you know, it's getting boring just with the units there. So why not? Let's create that. They're not ready to attack yet, but that's okay. By the time we had a good amount of resources, so building a siege would have been a great choice. I was never sure about Age of Empires 1 towers, at least as far as the Persians are concerned. So I just took a chance of creating a tower first in case my enemy decides to attack soon. What I didn't know that there's another item that I should have done. I'll see in a minute why. Okay, my treasure hunt continued, and I sent my armies to collect more and more treasures and continued building the towers. My thought was that if you just create 3 towers, 2 here and 1 in the small passage, and maybe somewhere in the northern side of it, I don't have to worry about creating too many units, protective units around the town center. So that was the target. And did that work? We'll find out in a minute. So I just ordered the first siege unit of my empire, and in Age of Empires 1 there's very few options for siege weapons, at least for Persians, so it's just one. That is a little depressing, but you know, elephants, you have elephants, so I can use that as a siege weapon. Now, this small passage is, so I thought that this small passage was rather less significant because the main attack would be from the northern side. So I just created only 1 tower there, and most likely I made the biggest mistake in this game. Again, just wait for a few minutes and we'll see why. Now, we started building a wall. We are going to build a wall to prevent, I'm not going to finish that sentence, of course. But the wall is going to be very important for this gameplay, not only for my units, but for survival of the civilization in this game. Now I think it's time to build the second wall, which is going to come up pretty soon. Here I made a tremendous mistake. You know why? I should have built a wall at this side. Instead of that, I focused on creating buildings. And we'll soon see why that was not such a great idea. So my treasure hunt continued. A single unit attacked my enemy and perished, and I don't know why, but yeah, he just decided to go and attack an enemy unit without any reason whatsoever. Anyway, the next wall has started, and I'm not gonna explain right now, but it's gonna be very, very important for preventing future attacks. You will see why in a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, be ready. Things are going to get very, very interesting soon. So I thought that I'll build the wall in this area first, and then just cover enough space so that my units get chance to prevent attack in any place while my enemy is busy destroying the wall. And I also wanted the ownership of the gold mine there. So now, can you see the Achilles heel in my plan? Yeah? No? You have around a minute to think about it. Because in a minute, gentlemen, bad things are gonna happen. I just gave you a hint. At that time, unfortunately, I didn't say it. My entire army is resting there, relaxing, chilling, and my enemy is on the move. My citizens completely unaware of the fact, the dangers that they are facing now. The moment, ladies and gentlemen, has arrived. As soon as I put a wall around here, see what happens. Suddenly, units after units arrive and attack my tower. Wall prevents them attacking the entire eastern command or northern command, but my Achilles heel area let them in. Now, there are very few units around this area and they attack my town center as well as the citizens with sharpened steel. The only thing that stands between them and the citizens are the naval units, which not much helpful but acts as a distraction, at least for some time, till my other units we were chilling in the north can arrive. Now my citizens and treasures I have to protect, so I moved them to the right. The problems with Age of Empires 1 is your citizens can't even attack until and unless you ask them to. So, alright guys, enough chilling. Now come and attack this units. My navy is finished. The only way I can stop this madness is by attacking these units. Look at the AI. My citizens were standing right next to it. It just ran past them. They could have finished the citizens and taken control of the treasures, but that's why I never believed that Terminator can happen in 90s. With this kind of AI, Skynet would have failed, man. Sure. Okay. Some clever citizen have finished the wall there, and I don't expect second wave, at least from that side. But I was wrong. I wanted to create more naval units because the way they have responded, but I made a bigger mistake. Without even checking that all my enemies were out of this area, I asked my citizen to go back and start gathering resources. The lockdown had ended before it should have. Suddenly, out of nowhere, the enemy units emerged again and started attacking the citizens. Luckily, I had enough units to cover, but still, I lost a lot of citizens there. Houses broken, enemy units were just waiting for me to open the lockdown. There's no warning bell in Age of Empires 1. There's nothing to save the citizens. The number of units have come down so low that I didn't even think that I would be able to protect my empire. Fortunately for me, I was wrong. Thanks to a few of my naval units and the elephant and some siege units, I was winning. I still had enough citizens. Enough to at least continue the basic resources. But my enemy started attacking the town center again. This time with much worse way. Their entire camel and siege units started attacking my town center. They even started stealing my treasures, which was prevented, thankfully. But my citizens are almost exhausted. The enemy continued to attack till I destroyed their last siege units. But just like any other battle, this battle has come to an end. We lost a lot of soldiers, a lot of citizens, but we won. And now we have a very strong wall and a lot of units to protect. For some unknown reason, the enemy kept sending not only their units but also their citizens, which were cannon fodders in front of my units. Look at this AI. Look at the AI. Now that they're out of units, they're just sending citizens. I mean, who wrote this code, man? For what? You have entire gold, food, everything available right there. Why? It's completely out of mind. I couldn't understand why they would do that. Anyway, so I was attacked again. This time it was manageable because it's just one unit running here and there, but yeah, I think we were born again. Alright, now I'm going to make another blunder in a minute. I had so few units, but since we just won a war, I thought it would be a good time to go and attack my enemy. I forgot that units aren't the only defensive mechanism available to my enemy. However, as the enemy kept on attacking me, it was so frustrating. I couldn't take it anymore. I had only one siege unit available at that point of time. So what did I do? You'll see right now. I started attacking their stronghold. Not only that, with whatever army I had at that point of time. The first was a supply center. It was pretty easy to destroy. And they were just sending citizens, so shouldn't be a big problem.
This is Sparta!
And then the next. Once those supply centers were destroyed, they started sending more and more units, which in turn destroyed my siege weapons. Unfortunately, I may have won the battle, but I lost my most precious units. Then I made another mistake by attacking towers with the units and only 2 siege weapons. The result was instantaneous. My siege was completely destroyed and I had to retreat. I learned my lesson. I'm not going to attack anytime soon without first gaining the maximum strength possible. So for the next few minutes, I spent time on building more citizens, gathering more resources, and building my army. My enemy continued to attack and tried to bulldoze me. However, as I've gained back my citizens by then, and my army was being built at a very, very fast pace, I still kept a few units there just in case someone is still lurking around, but no one came. For creating this army, I needed a good number of wood. And that's exactly I'm going to spend time on. Gather resources. I don't need army to attack at this point of time. I just need them to defend. Most attacks after this will come from smaller units which my enemy can produce quickly and citizens trying to gather resources. So all I need to do is just prevent them till my army is ready. Siege weapons, I thought, would have been very, very important in destroying the towers, so I focused on creating more and more of them. My army was taking shape. So was my economy. Now that I had cooked amount of basic resources, I focused on creating more and more units as fast as possible. And of course, create more buildings so that I don't heat the limit. And with that, I had some units attacking me. I don't know why my unit even went there, but I think I learned from that and pulled them closer to home. Meanwhile, my economy was going at a very fast pace. I had a good navy, and my army was taking shape in spite of getting attacked left, right, and center by the citizens, of course. And that helped building a good army. I was anticipating a big attack because my enemy would have definitely built the army by now, taking this time. But I guess I was wrong. While my total number of units were touching around 100, I started creating more and more houses just to ensure that I can concentrate on creating the army and the attack when the time comes. If you have noticed the total score, I was going ahead and ahead compared to my enemy. I had 3 treasure units with me out of 4, and I've had much bigger army so far. The AI continued creating blunders and committing blunders by attacking me with citizens. I don't know what they saw in this location and why they would send citizens and why would they send just 2 or 3 units to attack so many of mine. But they made that blunder. They continued to make that blunder. They didn't spend any time on building an army. That is so unfortunate.
Problema? Bombes.
My army was itching for attack, and they were almost ready. However, someone was keeping score, and they had other ideas. We'll see in a minute. I was preparing for a full-scale attack. My army was almost ready. I had good number of siege weapons. I have reached my limit of building 50 houses. So all I needed was a time to create around 70 to 76 additional units. I managed to create even priests. My army was ready for attack. I started moving my army. The siege weapons are now in the front. My enemy kept coming. For some unknown reason, only the citizens ran towards my army on a suicide mission, doing absolutely nothing. But in a few seconds, something happened. And just like that, I won.
Because it's anything can happen Thursday.
It was the weirdest game I've ever played. I don't know how I won it, but most likely I had 3 treasure chests. That's why. We'll never know because the game never doesn't tell us. So we have done a fine job in military. As you can see, we are like 484 versus 37. Economy, we did pretty well. I think they had more different religious units and maybe more monks. I don't know how we were better in technology. Maybe I don't know. Maybe we just researched something. I didn't remember researching anything, but it's okay. And we did fine job in the total score as well. So that's all for today, guys. If you have enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe to Alienizer channel. See you in the next video. Goodbye.